Welcome back to CfTesla. My name is Cody, and today we're going to talk about why we decided just the other day to finally buy the Cybertruck. We'll also cover a little bit about what we know about it right now, as well as delivery times, things like that. But first, before I get started, I want to address the crack in my windshield that so many of you are commenting on, and really just what happened. And the story is really quite boring. A very large lifted truck turned in front of me and took a shot at me with a rock. I got the wonderful pleasure of hearing that loud snap as the rock hit the window that we all just love so much. In less than an hour, the crack was an inch long, and today, a week or so later, it's about a foot long down my window, maybe even a little bit longer. I'll just take a minute here to say, before you sign up for the insurance, make sure that your Tesla insurance provider does cover cracked windshields, like really cracked, not just a little dent, but a crack. These can be over $2,000 to replace, and for me, it's only a $500 deductible, so I will be replacing it as soon as possible. And because so many of you asked so nicely, I will record the whole process, record it into videos, so you kind of know what the process is for getting these things replaced. Next, let's talk about that Cybertruck. Now, if you've seen my recent drive, you already knew I put down the $100, and I just kind of already said that a minute ago. I know most of you that are interested in the truck already put down that money a long time ago and are hundreds of thousands ahead of me in line. I did it because the first words out of my wife's mouth were, "That will never be in my driveway," and to be honest, I agreed. The look was not appealing at first. I know many of you like it, and that is great, but it took a while to grow on me. And here's the thing though. My wife and I are we're Tesla for lifers, okay? I mean that from the bottom of my heart, forever. We will always drive Teslas. Something would drastically have to change for us to stop driving them. This year, in fact, we're planning on taking our Model 3 with our 3 kids, so 5 of us, from Seattle, Washington here all the way down to Southern California to Disneyland. The problem with this is obvious. There's just not room for anything. We considered taking our motorhome, but I would have to rob our kids' college fund to pay for the gas bill, so Tesla it is. And when you get thinking about it, a family of 5 going on a 2-week trip with suitcases, sleeping bags, food, coolers, drinks, all that, well, it's just not going to happen in the Model 3 without you giving up a lot of stuff. Basically, the plan is pack 1 suitcase for the kids, 1 for us, and a little bit of food in the trunk, and good luck. So then what are the options left at Tesla that we can actually do this in comfortably? Well, you have the Model X and you have the Cybertruck. Now, I love the Model X, and so does my wife, and we've talked about getting it. But what we don't like is that $100,000 price tag. The Cybertruck on paper really checks all the boxes. With the dual motor, I can get the same, if not better range I'm used to right now with my dual motor Model 3. I get the ability to take my mountain bikes around with me and not having to use my 2010 antique Acura MDX with 1,000 buttons on the dash. I shouldn't complain. It's a great car. I'm just joking. I get to tow crap up to 10,000 pounds, which is super cool. Obviously, you get the tri-motor, you get even more. I, of course, will have to buy then said crap to tow behind said truck. And it will still be one of the fastest cars I've ever owned outside of my Model 3. But what really sealed the deal on this is the bed of the truck. Since I can throw all of our luggage back there and then just simply close it up, that leaves all the space in the cab open and free. We'll have more space than we ever had in our MDX. Now, a lot of you guys who have a lot of kids, you'll appreciate this. I mean, you can just picture it. We used to, even in the MDX with a big old trunk back there, we used to go and pack down there sleeping bags and pillows so the kids' feet were just straight across. Well, they're getting older now. That's not really that easy to do. It's time for a change. But like so many of you, there are questions that I have. I mean, the first is, will I want to use the bed for things like garden bark or some really dirty stuff? Pile of dirt, I don't know. I mean, this is not a deal breaker for me because I can always just, tow a utility trailer back there that I could even just rent once a year, just fill it up with bark or dirt or whatever I need for the yard, just around the spring or something, then return it. I mean, my real concern here is that those tracks that you see along the side of the bed, if you get dirt in there, I mean, that's going to be kind of a pain to clean. Now, I know Tesla's thought of this. I'm sure there's a solution for that, and there might even be more info out there on it already. I just couldn't find it. So really, will I be able to use it the way that I use a normal truck? Or is this more just a fancy trunk I could put things like bikes in and stuff, but I won't really want to put a load of topsoil into? Second, when can someone who orders it today really expect to get it? Well, Elon recently said it would be built at the new Giga Texas facility, which is going as planned, so I guess we can watch the progress there. We know Tesla plans to start producing the dual and tri-motor options late this year, with the single motor options a year later in 2022. On Tesla's recent earnings call, Elon said the words, if we get lucky. And he was referring to the deliveries for this year. But he also said that he expects the majority of the production to be in 2022. So if we get lucky, we might see some coming out at the end of this year, but most likely it'll be in 2022 for sure, the majority in 2022. Now, me personally, I think I'm over 750,000 in line. Like, I'm way back there. I'm that guy behind the store, behind the next parking lot, way back in line that people are like, oh, he's never gonna get in the store before it closes. That's me in the line. Serves me right for taking so long to decide I need the Cybertruck. I just want to take this moment to thank so many of you guys who have subscribed to my channel and supported me along this journey, because it's because of you guys I'm even able to buy the Cybertruck anyway. Buying it for the channel is a huge part of why I'm getting it, and all the fun we can have together with all your ideas, me going out and trying them, all the fun accessories, all that stuff that we can do here. I can only imagine the amount of stuff they're gonna make for this thing. I mean, we've already seen little glimpses of, tenting and camps and spin out tools and accessories and all that for this thing. It's just gonna, companies are gonna go crazy making stuff for this, and I can't wait to test it all out and help you guys get a bunch of discounts on it. So next is the design. Oh man, the design. Now we all know and were a part of and felt the controversy when it first came out. I mean, there were so many people that thought this is just a joke. In fact, a lot of people thought, okay, now Elon, haha, roll out the next one, roll out the real one. So ever since, the question has been, what will the final design actually look like? Well, in 2020, Elon said Tesla had finally wrapped up the design work, and it still looked pretty much like the design we all saw. He did add in there with small improvements, which I think mostly just means that it's 3% smaller, and that was designed so it would fit in the average garage. But what I don't know about that statement, is that like wall to garage door, or is that like, put your fridge in there, 2 kids' bikes, and then, walking room around the back, because that's what it means in my garage. I don't have, wall to garage space. Do you guys have that? I mean, seriously, who has just like a wide open garage you can use all the space for a car? I don't. I don't. So it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of changes, which I'm like, it's okay. It doesn't need to be changed. I think a lot of people really like this design, and it for sure has grown on me, yes. I mean, it's hard because I really, really, really want to like the design, and I do from some angles. I mean, this looks okay. I mean, this angle's not my favorite. That's absolutely awesome. This is just simply scary. I mean, can you imagine seeing that behind you? But of course, all you guys know who watch my videos, I never break the law, and certainly not on camera. Elon did say in late February that he would post some new photos of the Cybertruck, but then later changed his story that he would post them in the second quarter of this year. So that is kind of interesting, because if it's so different, if it's barely different, then what's the point of posting new photos? So they caused me to wonder, maybe it is different. Maybe it's going to be enough that you could post a photo and people are like, oh, that's different. I'm actually very curious now. How many of you guys think this is going to be like a noticeable different, or it's like, oh, well, the door handles are gone, which is fine, great, remove the door handles, whatever. But I am looking forward to when Elon does come out and show us more about what the vehicle is going to look like. I mean, not necessarily just the frame, but like other things. Like the solar panel that covers the bed. The additional storage back there that we heard about and was just sort of glimpsed right over. The seating arrangements in the cab. The front light bar. I mean, how cool is that light bar? The transparent roof. I mean, there's a lot of things like that we just don't really know. The bulletproof but not ball-proof glass. And then, like I mentioned earlier, the door handles, and there's been some talk about this lately. Elon wasn't exactly specific that it was the door handles. He just said handles, but we're assuming it's the door handles. Are they going to be there, or are they not going to be there? So the last question that I thought about was maneuverability. I mean, already I know my wife will never drive this car. She doesn't like driving anything bigger than her MDX, and I don't blame her. She's very short. She's 5'4", and just seeing around her is difficult. But I wondered how much different this truck's going to be. I mean, with all the glass around you and then all the sensors and the screen, how easy is the car going to be to go and park somewhere in like a really busy parking lot, or navigating through like a downtown Seattle area? It's obviously not going to be ideal. The Model 3 or Y would be better in this scenario. But then I thought, by the time this truck comes out, it's probably going to be self-parking anyway. I mean, right now, if you have the full self-drive package, you can park between 2 cars in a straight parking stall, or parallel park if there's cars on both sides. So they'll probably have added the fact that it can do that by just watching the lines soon. And like I said, with all the sensors around, getting around and navigating is probably not going to be that hard. I mean, it's like when I bought my motorhome. I was terrified about driving this thing. I had never driven anything like this. And then all of a sudden now it's like second nature. I've only driven it twice since I've gotten it because of the winter we parked it. And now you just drive it. You just simply get in and you just go. You get gas, you go to the grocery store, whatever. You just do what you do. This is obviously going to be a lot easier than that. So with all this getting on, I'm starting to get excited. I mean, I really am. I mean, I'm excited for you guys to all have it for a couple years before I get it. But you know what? I've been reached out to by so many of you guys who are like, hey, come drive mine, make videos in mine. So I have a pretty good idea that the first one I see won't be mine. And the first one that you all will see on my channel won't be mine. I mean, I've gotten offers from some of you guys to go down to North Carolina and New York and all over the place to go and drive them. And that sounds like fun. Road trip. Anyway, that's just a quick update on why we move forward with the Tesla Cybertruck. We are so excited to be able to continue this channel and add new content with these new vehicles. And I want to thank everyone who's joined Operation Let It Drive and picked up a shirt, a sticker for their car, whatever, just being a part of the operation, the drive, the mission. It really does help to support the channel, so thank you so much. Also, thank you everybody who joined our Facebook group and is so awesome over there. We've got tons of exciting new stuff coming there, some giveaways, all stuff like that. So if you're not there already, join it down below. But don't join if you're